Welcome to upgrading Dell PowerFlex 4.x to 4.x. This is part 3 of a 3-part series. Part 3 focuses on the steps needed to upgrade the workload resources, including PowerFlex OS and resource groups. There are a few things to be aware of before starting. The following video is for illustrative purposes. The guidance from other videos in this series has been followed. Please review release notes for either the RCM or IC for important details. 4 ICs refer to Dell Knowledge Base 000211967. 4 RCMs refer to Dell Knowledge Base 000211966. The links for both KBs are in the video notes. The user performing the upgrade is familiar with basic PowerFlex management operations. A backup of the existing environment has been made prior to any upgrade. Advanced procedures are not covered by this video. Environments may be different, as such experiences may vary. Organizations have a valid support contract and should reach out to Dell Technical Support for additional assistance. For more details on the upgrade procedure, review the PowerFlex Appliance or Rack Upgrade Guide, which can be found at dell.com/support. In this video, we'll focus specifically on the section labeled Upgrade PowerFlex Nodes, shown here in the green area of the overall upgrade workflow. We won't be covering steps like upgrading PowerFlex Manager, VMware components, or switch firmware. Instead, we'll walk through the PowerFlex node upgrade process, which includes upgrading the PowerFlex operating system using the PowerFlex system resource, and updating node firmware, the OS, and SDC using resource groups. This ensures each node is running the latest software stack, with full compliance and stability. Now that we've reviewed the overall upgrade workflow and clarified the scope of this video, it's time to begin the PowerFlex OS upgrade process. Before we start, there's one critical step. We need to adjust the rebuild and rebalance policies to help ensure the upgrade runs efficiently and with minimal disruption. Making these adjustments helps to accelerate node stabilization during maintenance, avoid prolonged data rebuild operations, and enable smoother rolling upgrades throughout your environment. Here's what you need to change. Set the rebuild and rebalance policy to unlimited. Under maintenance mode I/O limit, adjust concurrent I/O to 10. These settings allow PowerFlex to shift data more aggressively while a node is in maintenance mode, helping to reduce upgrade duration. And just as important, be sure to record the original values before making any changes. You'll need to restore them after the upgrade to return the system to normal operating conditions. Let's take a quick look at how to make these adjustments in PowerFlex Manager. Select the Block tab, then Storage Pools. Select the first storage pool, then click the Modify drop-down and select I/O Priority. Record current settings before changing. As you can see, the rebuild and rebalance has limited concurrent I/O and the maintenance mode is set to 1. We will adjust both rebuild and rebalance to unlimited and adjust the maintenance mode to 10, then click Apply. Repeat for each storage pool you have. Now that we've adjusted the rebuild and rebalance policies, we're ready to begin the PowerFlex OS upgrade. Before applying any compliance updates, it's important to review the PowerFlex system in PowerFlex Manager to ensure it's in a stable, healthy state. From the Resources tab, find the PowerFlex system. Select with a check mark. Then on the right side, click View Details. From the Detail screen, you can select Nodes tab, then expand the protection domain, expand the SDS and SDC and validate they are in a connected state. If any component appears disconnected or degraded, pause here and resolve the issue before proceeding. A clean and fully connected system is critical for a successful OS upgrade. Once validation is complete, we can begin applying compliance through the system resource to upgrade core components like SDS, MDM, and SDR if replication is enabled. Let's walk through that process next. From the Resources tab, locate and select the PowerFlex system. Next, click Update Resource from the Actions menu. This action launches the upgrade workflow for the system-level PowerFlex components. Click Next. You can choose Instant Maintenance Mode or Protected Maintenance Mode. Each mode is designed for different scenarios and has specific behaviors and trade-offs. To confirm the upgrade, type in the box, "Update PowerFlex," in all capital letters to acknowledge that you've reviewed the scope and are ready to proceed. Once you've entered the confirmation text, click Finish to launch the upgrade process. PowerFlex Manager will now begin upgrading system components in a controlled, rolling sequence. You can go ahead and close the Update Details dialog. If you check the Resources tab, you'll see that the upgrade is now in progress, just like you see here. To get back to the Update Details screen, click View Details, then Upgrade Status. In the Upgrade Status window, you can view the Recent Activity section to monitor real-time progress and system events throughout the upgrade. As shown here, the firmware job has been initiated and is currently performing its own health validation checks before moving forward. The PowerFlex OS upgrade typically takes about 30 to 40 minutes to complete, depending on the number of nodes in your system and the overall workload. This timing includes the upgrade, rolling maintenance mode transitions, health validations, and post-upgrade rebalancing. Once the upgrade is complete, you'll see the PowerFlex system marked as compliant in the Resources tab. At this point, it's a good practice to review the system status, confirm that all services are healthy, and ensure that components like SDS, SDC, and MDM are fully connected and operational. This final check helps verify that the PowerFlex OS upgrade completed successfully and that the system is ready for the next phase. With the PowerFlex operating system upgrade complete, the next step is to update the node firmware and base operating system. This process is performed using resource groups in PowerFlex Manager. Each resource group defines a set of nodes that share a common configuration and compliance profile. During this phase, we'll upgrade the node's firmware and BIOS components, the underlying Linux OS or ESX on each node, and the storage data client, or SDC. PowerFlex Manager handles these upgrades in a rolling fashion, putting each node into maintenance mode to minimize disruption and maintain system availability. Let's walk through how to prepare for and execute the node firmware and OS upgrade. Before upgrading the node firmware and operating system, it's a good idea to run an inventory from the Resources tab. This step ensures that PowerFlex Manager has the most up-to-date view of each node's state, including any changes that may have occurred outside of the management application, such as manual updates or configuration changes. To run an inventory, start by selecting the top checkbox to highlight all resource items in the list. Then, click Run Inventory from the Action menu. This triggers PowerFlex Manager to scan each node and update its internal records, ensuring that all hardware, firmware, and OS details are current before beginning the upgrade. You can monitor inventory by selecting the job icon at the top of the screen. As you can see, a number of inventory jobs are running. Once the inventory process is complete and everything appears up to date, we're ready to move on. Navigate to the lifecycle. Then click on Resource Groups. From here, select the first group you'll be upgrading to begin the node firmware and OS update process. Before upgrading the firmware and operating system, it's important to make sure the resource group is fully updated to reflect any changes that may have occurred outside of PowerFlex Manager. This ensures that the compliance process is accurate and that all upgrade actions are based on the current state of the environment. When you click Update Resource Group Details, a wizard will guide you through reviewing current node configurations, comparing them against the defined resource group template, and confirming whether any detected changes should be accepted and saved. Completing this step helps ensure that PowerFlex Manager has an accurate baseline before performing compliance checks or initiating an upgrade. It's a best practice to always run this update before applying any resource group changes, especially in environments with multiple administrators or manual maintenance workflows. To begin, click on More Actions, then select Update Resource Group Details. You'll be prompted to enter the appropriate operating system credentials for the nodes in the group. Once entered, click Next to proceed. The wizard will then validate the credentials and perform a quick scan of each node to ensure access and gather current configuration data. After validation, you'll be presented with a summary of the resource group configuration. Take a moment to carefully review the summary details and confirm that everything appears accurate. When ready, click Next to review the networking information. Then click Finish. This process will take a few minutes as PowerFlex Manager updates its internal database with the latest resource group details. Now that we've completed the PowerFlex OS upgrade and updated the resource group details, we're ready to upgrade the firmware, operating system, and storage data client, or SDC, on each node. This process is managed through PowerFlex Manager's resource group workflow. Click View Compliance Report. This report compares the current configuration of each node to the selected compliance baseline. Before we begin applying any updates, it's important to make sure the correct compliance file is selected. This file defines the expected firmware versions, OS image, and software packages for each node, and acts as the baseline that PowerFlex Manager uses to determine compliance. Once you're in the compliance report view for the selected resource group, take a moment to check the target compliance version at the top of the page. If the compliance file doesn't match the one you've uploaded for this upgrade, click on the Change link next to the compliance version to open the dialog box. From here, select the compliance file that matches your upgrade plan. To confirm the change, PowerFlex Manager requires a manual confirmation step. In the dialog, type Change Compliance File in all capital letters. Then click Save. PowerFlex Manager will immediately refresh the report, now comparing your nodes against the newly selected compliance baseline. This updated view will show you which nodes are already compliant and which ones require updates to match the new standard. With the correct compliance file in place and the report updated, we're ready to apply the updates and begin the upgrade process for each node. Scroll down to the compliance report and look for any nodes marked as non-compliant. You have the flexibility to select individual nodes if you want to upgrade in smaller batches. Or, if you're ready, you can simply use the checkbox at the top to select all non-compliant nodes at once. Once your selection is made, click Update Resources to begin configuring the upgrade process. You can choose Instant Maintenance Mode or Protected Maintenance Mode. Each mode is designed for different scenarios and has specific behaviors and trade-offs. After reviewing your node selection, click Apply to launch the upgrade. PowerFlex Manager will begin the rolling upgrade process, one node at a time, based on the settings you've configured. Once the upgrade begins, you can track its progress through the Recent Activity window. This view provides a live summary of the upgrade workflow, showing which nodes are currently being upgraded, which ones are complete, and any that are waiting in queue. As each node enters maintenance mode, PowerFlex Manager will apply the necessary firmware and OS updates, restart services or reboot the node, if required, and validate the health of each component including the SDC before returning the node to service. In a typical environment, you can expect each node to take roughly 1 hour to complete its full upgrade cycle, including entering maintenance mode, applying firmware and OS updates, rebooting if required, and running post-upgrade validations. After a resource group has been upgraded, it's important to verify that all nodes within the group show a compliant and healthy status. Check that the deployment state is marked as deployed or lifecycle, and that no warnings or alerts are present. You should also confirm that all services on the upgraded nodes have restarted successfully, and that the resource group overall displays a healthy status in PowerFlex Manager. These checks help ensure that the upgrade was fully successful and that the nodes are ready for production workloads. If you have additional resource groups that haven't yet been upgraded, now is the time to repeat the process. Use the same steps you followed earlier, reviewing compliance, selecting nodes, and applying the upgrade. Once all resource groups are upgraded and showing a compliant and healthy status, you're ready for final validation. To wrap up the upgrade process, let's walk through a few final checks. First, if you modified your rebuild and rebalance policies before the upgrade, be sure to return them to their normal production values as recommended in the PowerFlex Upgrade Guide. Next, review the status of each resource group. They should all show as healthy, and all nodes should appear compliant with no warnings or lifecycle alerts. If you're using replication, check the remote consistency groups to confirm everything is synchronized and in a healthy state. Also, Review the monitoring, events, and alert sections to ensure there are no outstanding issues related to the upgrade. Finally, run a System Configuration Report, or SCR. This tool helps validate the overall platform health and highlights any lingering issues that may need attention. By completing these checks, you can be confident that your PowerFlex environment is fully upgraded, compliant, and ready for production. And as always, refer to the PowerFlex Upgrade Guide for full post-upgrade procedures and best practices. That concludes our 3-part PowerFlex Upgrade video series. In the first video, we walked through the planning process, including upgrading PowerFlex Manager, the orchestration layer that drives the upgrade workflow. We also covered verifying prerequisites, staging upgrade bundles, and preparing your environment for a smooth rollout. In the second video, we focused on upgrading the controller cluster, using PowerFlex Manager to update system-level components safely and efficiently. And in this third and final video, we completed the process by upgrading the customer workload clusters, including node firmware, operating systems, and SDCs, followed by post-upgrade validation. With all phases complete, your PowerFlex environment should now be fully upgraded, compliant, and ready for production. We hope this series helped guide your team through a smooth and confident upgrade experience. Thank you for watching, and as always, be sure to consult the PowerFlex Upgrade Guide for detailed instructions, best practices, and ongoing support.